One of the things that we're going to talk about today is a program that Kathy Harrelson came up with, which with Leadership Connection, which is a great tool to introduce people into the broadcast field. We've done studies, and studies show that broadcasting actually opens up the door of much better effective communication with young people. It can also open up careers in radio broadcasting, news broadcasting. Eventually, I think we're going to go ahead and add the video editing piece to it as well. So they'll have a whole genre of the entire broadcasting field, whether they just want to be behind the microphone, broadcasting, or if they want to do the video editing part of it as well. Voiceovers, video editing, the whole nine. With Leadership Connection, that is our goal, to introduce people to the broadcasting field. Again, whether they want to go through it with being behind the mic as a broadcast person on radio, or being in front of a live camera, some place like News 2 or something like that. What radio broadcast does, I'll give you a perfect example with me, short story. I got introduced to it when I was producing hip hop. Was doing drum tracks for a group called Circular Motion, and the guy who was the head of the group, Gerald Crump, was a student at A&T at the time. And he said, Rick, you have a very unique sounding voice. Let's go over to the studio and do some voiceovers. I didn't know what a voiceover was. He said, we're just going to go read a few cue cards. I said, okay, fine. So we went over to 90.1, read a couple of cue cards. 2 weeks later, Yvonne Anderson called and said, hey, like your voice, like your vibe, let's train you as on-air personality. I started out on the Traffic Jam. I was typical, 21, 22-year-old kid, and got on the air one day and mispronounced a word. I said brung instead of brought. Tony Wellborn walked in and said, we've got enough people on air who can't pronounce words properly. So he, gave me a list of words to work on that were pronounced wrong a lot. And that's how I started to overpronounce my words. Funny thing is, I grew up right here in Greensboro, grew up in Claremont, moved from Claremont to the Old Grove, which is no longer there anymore, and then spent most, the latter part of my life growing up in Smith Homes as well. But most people hear me speak and they think that I'm from somewhere else instead of right here in Greensboro. The importance about that is learning how to speak correctly. And that's what broadcast did for me. Right now, I currently also do voiceovers for churches and, their morning announcements and things of that nature. So that's what broadcast can also do. It can also become a side income for someone. You develop your personality, you develop your gift in that area. Barbara Lilly, when I made the transition from the Traffic Jam to gospel, I was always mimicking whoever was training me at the time. And Barbara Lilly dropped a nugget in my spirit that just stuck with me. And she said, Rich, nobody can beat you being you. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. If you're trying to develop a personality, just be yourself. Don't mimic anybody else, because the truth be told, nobody can beat you being you. So what we're trying to do at Leadership Connection is develop strong personalities through these young ladies, letting them know that it's okay to be different, but you can also broadcast that differentness through radio. And pretty much what we're trying to do here with Leadership Connection. With the Alesis and the laptop, it's a portable, basically a portable recording studio. It can be broken down and taken anywhere. Anywhere. It's completely digital, which means it's always there. And with the Audacity software, you can amplify it, you can get rid of the noise, you can do everything that you need to do. Also with the Tascam, this is the Tascam DR05. Basically, it is a handheld recording device, 2 microphones on each side. So if I'm interviewing someone, I can hold it just like this. They can be on this side, we can be on this side. And you can edit with this as well. It comes with a USB cable that we can drop it inside the editing software and edit. Again, we're going to teach all of this today through Leadership Connections, and we're going to have fun.